You sat down and you attacked the master teacher because you thought you heard something that you didn't hear. That's the first violation. You don't come in. First of all, you come in and you act like you come in peace, but you don't. You got an agenda.
Wars of men upright, independent and fearless. Dogmatized, dirty Moors, tongues cut out, left earless. Cause they never listen. Dirty Moors, keep up your slander. Wu-Tang torture in your ass, hot hangers. Kidnappers, dirty Moor, torture him like Saw. 3D, 0.5 or 1 through 4. Or get it like 5 or 6 with a fez on jigsaw. Leather face in a turban, rip dirty Moor's lips off. Disrespecting the mother Raz Mariah Bay. Wrap him up like double crochet, the barbed wire way. Throw him off a bridge or feed him to the piranhas. Yellow journalists more spread nothing but propaganda. Idi Amin Bey, treat the temple like Uganda. Dirty Moors like foreigners, crush the dust like ganja. Not worthy of being Moors, we call them dirty Nehesus. Solomon Seal spell command 72 demons to get you.
This is what the temple guys actually said. That Canaanland is not a part of North America. Canaanland is bigger. Yo, it's ignorance, man. I mean, come on, you're talking about the same landmass. Canaanland is actually bigger than the landmass they know as the corporate United States. Almost twice as big. And if they had any sense, they could just go to Google and they can type in North America and find out North America goes all the way up to Greenland. But they're ignorant. They don't want to do that. They just dealing off emotion.
You might hear horse voices, see frog faces, and hoots for feet. Demons we run with, spit fire with gold wolf teeth. Keep playing, forget back teeth. New Moors are an issue, get Ginsu. Maybe a dream visit from Vishnu, a nightmare to never end and always continue. Cold as an igloo, dealing with my trust issues through vigilance. Active Moors are militants, SPLC dirty Moors call that sovereign citizen. Lying for views, they notice all the empty pews. Benz need gas and fixing, but not enough dues. Pigpen base sell you out for peanuts, claiming that we nuts for teaching birthright street level, keeping it beating us.
To any members of the MSTA that's out there listening to what I'm saying, please get it through your head. I don't have a problem with the MSTA. I got issues with
the case of Lamar, stay surrounded by fezzes. Dirt is guilty of fraud if duly scrutinize their ledgers. Getting proclamations from Morocco, disrespect us. Corporate city only recognize people's court jesters. Hand in their back, Moorish puppets and minions. Never get the human rights recognition like Moors near Virginia. Commonwealth, for active Moors knowledge, the Commonwealth. Dirties claim more, but really on the straw man health. Authenticating a birth certificate, that's not significant. Civil little more two status syndicates. In more face, watch them too. More status Indians claiming Turtle Island are lying, so intricate.
Long days and long nights, but this message needed to be heard.
Yo, sluts can't fuck with the Cujo.
Baby start spitting flow, it's the more MC. No status rappers need to recognize that I sent me to rep the prophet on beats, not Muhammad or Buddha. Verbal hashish when I flow, watch your headphone hookah. Whatever you think you started, it's about to end. Scimitar bass swing at your head and your lady friend. I watch no face, I don't care what you hear or heard. You won't see what I see with third eyes blurred. Hip hop nerd at night, I read till my eyes bleed. I affirm you bleed. I got titles, you want these. I got nationality. You want ECCs and PPSA for freedom. You can't freedom with hearsay. When I spit, call me pepper spray. Verbal graph artist. Blacks always shout upon us of the color of target. Systems crashing. I noticed that they closed all the targets. Blacks were slaves and trying to stop crashing the markets. What?
Yo, sluts can't fuck with the Cujo.
What?
Yo, sluts can't fuck with the Cujo.
R-A-B-B-E-R-S-T-O-D-A-Y. Talk with tongues forked and dressed like party guys. I'm different and will not be compared to them. Every you claims to have guns, but I'm not scared of them. We walking on their blocks, won't mess with Moors and locks. Especially after I use law and back down those cops. Kidnapping them and giving Billy Club shots and slapping. Sniffing stolen coke off the dash in their paddy wagon. Reaching over office, between bars like a chorus. All they want is black man fam at the forest. I'm going at all principles and subordinates. Moorish MC, don't care for statues and ordinance. Feathers make magistrates sit up when we step in. If If I plea, it's X relation on the front and misrepping, standing on squares like Tekken. You call obelisk, leave whack rappers stomach, cornfields like Cousin Fist. What?
Yo, sluts can't fuck with a Cujo.
I'm bucking at the Antichrist. I'm bucking at the Antichrist. I'm bucking at the Antichrist. So as the rapper's ducking, impropria persona is the status I'm stuck in. If you get with this, they won't treat you like black sheep. The choice is yours, whether you wanna stay awake or stay asleep. A lot of rappers for a check, keep it shallow, I stay deep. When pigs kidnap blue pill, I didn't hear a peep. From kill, crack, and Negroes, I notice your state of matter is soft like porridge. So what you say, it don't really matter. Won't call you imam, looking like a good little butcher. Tenderize the halal pork chops and pressure cookers. Speculative, never acting through phone cameras. You lookers have no balls like at the end of a game of snooker. Punks like saying you're true when you're really a German. Punks calling ancestors black when they're wearing a turban. Punks punch with lines with their bin and rhymes. I just tell Orishas of your sins and watch comic fans climb.
Yo, sluts can't fuck with a Cujo. Yo, sluts can't fuck with a Cujo. Yo, sluts can't fuck with a Cujo. Yo, sluts can't fuck with a Cujo.
I know what dirty moors, yeah. I know what dirty moors did to Drew Ali. I'm saying, I know what dirty moors did. I know what dirty moors did. I'm going at dirty rappers, lynching dirty moors too. Hiding literature that Drew wrote to warn you. They claim to make you Muslim and make you sovereign. The paperwork and filings, the fiat they rob it. They don't care about his words, throw it out like garbage. Or throw it at you when you're active, not passive. When they want to talk about like off a trampoline mattress, treat them like a vamp or a teen actress. Get stabbed with the brand like a mean savage. This inquisition divine, all others average. Millennium renaissance, heroes in our classes. Fed up with the czar controlling fascists. Ask if they heard about Moors, they say no. But Masons, they obviously know. Down the handshakes and rituals with skull and bones. They even know about owls burning Bohemian Grove. I know what dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what dirty Moors did. Dirty Moors killed Drew. I read the FBI papers on loyal Moors, emergency fund rapers. Moorish literature and divine battle changers. Might as well say Drew Ali was born in a manger. Prophet puts poison aside and his food smelled danger. Got me treating every Moor like a stranger. Grand cheek pumpkin stumbling drunk in their feds. What was proclaimed for every meeting was not read. Some Moors are so active, prophet can't be dead. Thanks Moorish teachers away, I can't be led. Actions speak, then I consider what's said. And what's said was study, then study yourself. Honest to the prophet, noble Drew Ali. I know what dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. Everybody wants to be just like Drew Ali, but nobody wants to care about Drew Ali. I know what dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did. I know what dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what dirty Moors did. Find one nigger leader. Find me one that made a video in honor of Noble Drew Ali in the past 50 years. Find me one. Just one. I'm not even asking for much. Find me one. Find me one black, African, whatever leader who made a video in honor of Noble Drew Ali.
I will say this to you sir, that the first time that Elijah Muhammad came to New York after I had accepted Islam, Brother Malcolm was alive at that time and his New York minister. The first, it was October 1956. I'm sorry, 55. Elijah Muhammad spoke on two men who were the forerunners to him.
How come you're not talking about that lie right there? How come nobody's talking about the lie that Farrakhan told, wherever this was? Since people want to honor him and use him as the people who mentioned Noble Drew Ali and gave honors to Noble Drew Ali. They don't give honors to Noble Drew Ali. F Farrakhan. Because he calls our people black. And any other leader out there who calls our people black, F them too. And then anybody who's using these people as an example to show that they know about Moors and they're telling the people and honors to the Nation of Islam, F them. They're playing games. And they know you're too coward to talk about it. You're going to blame some European about your problems. As if a European has something to do with your problems. As if. European have nothing to do with your problems. Nothing to do with your problems. Go back and check. Go back and check the record. They just told you. They just told you in Godfather of Harlem. They just told you in Godfather of Harlem. Just told you. They just told you in Godfather of Harlem. And you're playing games like you don't know what's up and everybody else knows. The fact that they put this stuff in a movie and these people didn't even say no, that's not how it went. Oh, it's a movie, that's fiction? Or, oh, that's how you're looking at it. All right. You stay looking at it like that and stay in your incompetence. I'd rather deal with the facts. Me personally, I'd rather deal with the facts. Because more than likely, facts are on the line of truth. And truth is one of our principles. So if we're calling out people for being traitors, that's just the truth. Which is one of our principles. It's not hatred for him. We know that Dr. York was an R&B singer before he became the leader of the whatever. We know that. And we could put that out there because we know what's up. How's an R&B singer leading you? We know that the minister is Eugene Walcott and he's a calypso singer that my dad used to listen to. And everybody knows he's a calypso singer. You found out that he's the leader of some whatever, like, what? What is the leader of? What do you mean he's the leader of something? All right, I guess he's the leader of something. Whatever. Playing all this minister stuff as if they're doing something for the people. And then people are riding with them because they mentioned Noble Drew Ali's name. He did something for the Moors. No, he didn't. He didn't do jack for the Moors. These people took Gaddafi's 5 million or 50 billion or whatever that they got from Gaddafi that was supposed to go to all of us. Not just them in their little club. How come the conditions are still the same? And if they didn't get any finance from Gaddafi, if that's the case, right, if they didn't get anything, right, then where are they getting all this stuff that they got? Because there ain't no way Some people's membership and all that stuff has them living like that. Somebody's getting the yellow envelope, the same yellow envelope they tried to give to El Hajj that he didn't take. But he's dead though. But we're gonna have composure, because Moors are supposed to talk like this, and we're not supposed to get mad at these traitors who are alive. And we're supposed to say peace and love to all, and to all good days and good nights and all that stuff, and live in harmony, because the universe is vibrating at a frequency where everyone is woke right now. And then you're doing the spreading the thing with the arms and all that, and then portals are being created, and little brother just got murdered last night. Oh, little brother got murdered last night, and these people's portals didn't stop anything. How come their sage stuff didn't stop people from getting murdered in the street? How come their meditation and then 50 billion people meditating at once or whatever like that is not stopping this tyranny going on? Right? Only eating vegan is gonna stop this stuff, and then the vegan people are debating with the plant-based people. Then the plant-based people don't even know that it's the pork people that created the plant-based stuff. And then you're going to the guy who used to arrest you for weed. You're going to his dispensary to buy weed to smoke right now. And he's the ex-police chief who used to murder you people in the street. And used to arrest your teenagers and want to charge them as grown men and all that stuff. You're smoking his weed right now. But we're supposed to be chill, you know, speak in an intelligent tone, and Noble Drew Ali said, and all that. And we're going to speak in an intelligent tone so nobody can get mad. Say the Moors yelled at them and all that stuff. So because we're religious, right, we have to talk like the Christians and the Buddhists and, you know, you're not supposed to get excited unless you're a Christian. Christians, they will be flipping back, doing backflips on the stage and all that stuff for Jesus and whatever. Right? But we're reserved because we're Moors, and we know our higher self and our lower self, and we're supposed to talk to you like this, because this is how you're going to get the message when we talk like this, because you don't like the excitement. So Minister Farrakhan, Nation of Islam leader who we all love and we appreciate all the works that he did for our people, Negro, black, colored, whatever, Moors, because he mentioned Noble Drew Ali, so we give honors to him. And we give supreme honors to the Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, because he's our brother in the struggle for the liberation of our people. So we give honors to him. Because we'll talk like this so you can make your own decision. Don't listen to us, because we're not amping this up like, you know, this is something to know. This is just us being our Moorish selves. The more who you're not gonna get in the online video, the more who you're gonna get in a phone call. You sound so condescending and aggressive. Oh, sorry. I didn't know myself really. Thought I knew myself, but I know myself now, because Noble Drew Ali said we have to talk in an intelligent tone. So we're going to speak in an intelligent tone, listen to what the Prophet says, and see if, you know, Noble Drew Ali, because if he said talk in intelligent tone, then it doesn't mean, you know, punch dude in the face. Just talk intelligent, and everything will be okay. So the minister who we love and we honor, and we give him supreme praises, didn't tell the people about Noble Drew Ali's Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, where there's a chapter in there that speaks about the end of time and fulfilling of the prophecies. And in it, Noble Drew Ali says, the last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem men from their sinful ways and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. John the Baptist, who we all know him. Everyone's familiar with John the Baptist. John the Baptist was the forerunner of Jesus in those days, to warn and stir up the nation and prepare them to receive the divine creed which was taught by Jesus. And then I had an alarming thought. Just listen to this again.
This to you, sir, that the first time that Elijah Muhammad came to New York after I had accepted Islam, Brother Malcolm was alive at that time and he's a New York minister. The first, it was October 1956. I'm sorry, 55. Elijah Muhammad spoke on two men who were...
Now keep in mind, 1955. 1955. Drew Ali is 1929. Now keep in mind, Drew Ali is 1929 and Elijah Muhammad is 55. 1955.
The forerunners to him, Noble Drew Ali was number one, and Marcus Garvey was number two. He said to us, that was the first big speech outside of a temple that I heard Elijah Muhammad speak. And on that day, he lifted Noble Drew Ali, that we should honor him, respect him, and study what he did. As a forerunner, we had many who were followers of Noble Drew Ali under the name Bey and Krim and other Islamic names that came to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we never clashed. We never clashed with our brothers from the Moorish Science Temple.
Because all of them sold out. That's why they never clashed. Because all of them agreed. Oh, sorry. Intelligent tone. So why wasn't there a clash? Why wasn't there a clash between these two different bodies? Who one of them says their founder is Elijah Muhammad, Fard Muhammad, and the other group, the other temple, is the Moorish Science Temple. Which in 1955 Moorish Science Temple took the sign down and started calling themselves Allah's Temple of Islam, then Nation of Islam, up until 1955, instead of just being Moorish Science Temple of America still. So for these two sides to know this and not relay that to the dumb pub, sorry. So for the people to really understand what's going on, you have to use the timeline, because 1929 is before 1955. And if in 1929 it was known to everyone, it was known to everyone in the so-called black conscious whatever schools of thought, know their self, African, they got newspapers trying to make themselves look like somebody. Everybody knew that Noble Drew Ali in his own newspaper was telling you about him being the prophet and certain people being his forerunner, like John the Baptist and Jesus. Not that Elijah Muhammad's a prophet of somebody. He's who's forerunner for him? Forerunner for him for what? Why would there be a forerunner for him? Why would there be a forerunner for Elijah Muhammad if there was a prophet before Elijah Muhammad telling the people that he's the prophet and who his forerunner is? In these modern days, there came a forerunner of Jesus, who was divinely prepared by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did teach and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet, who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam, and his name is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared and sent to the earth by Allah to teach the old-time religion and the everlasting gospel to the sons of men, that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and return to their own and be one with their Father God Allah. Right, so that's why there's supposed to be no clash, because all of them recognize that Noble Drew Ali is the prophet. All of them recognize that Marcus Garvey is the forerunner, and anyone claiming any type of other names in that forerunner prophet conversation is a fraud, because none of them said they had a forerunner before Noble Drew Ali. But then after Noble Drew Ali, when he's dead and he can't speak for himself, and then the passive Moors who are running the temple right now are not going to speak up and say anything, of course we're going to look like we're trying to cause some problem. We don't want unity. No, we just want things to go back to what it was before the fraud. And that's what everybody fessing up, because we saw what you did. We know what Dirty Moors did. We know what Dirty Moors did. We know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. Marcus Garvey's the forerunner, and Noble Drew Ali's the prophet. That's what everyone knew already. Mufti Sadiq knew, because he was on the stage with Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali. Then they're never going to tell you about Mufti Sadiq. Then you think this is some stuff limited to some Negroes, when Chinese, Japanese, Turks had nationality cards and they were part of the Moorish Science Temple in the 1920s. You think they didn't know who the prophet was? So then how are these people coming today trying to tell you that because they mention Noble Drew Ali's name, that means they're giving him honors. No, it doesn't. Because if they were given honors, they wouldn't have took them till 55. They would have been doing it from the jump. And they weren't. If it took him till 1955 to say in the public, yes, Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey are my forerunners. Noble Drew Ali's number one. That would mean that Elijah Muhammad is playing reincarnated prophet. But what would you expect? Because Fard Muhammad used to call himself reincarnation of Noble Drew Ali. Elijah Muhammad called himself reincarnation of Noble Drew Ali. In actions, in the position that they're trying to hold in the minds of the people who are Nation of Islam. That Fard Muhammad he's the prophet that came to save us. That's a fiction. All of that comes from Noble Drew Ali. So he can't be used. Farrakhan can't be used as a black leader who spoke about Noble Drew Ali. No, Farrakhan's a Moor. We know he has a nationality card and all that. We know he has a nationality card. We know he's Moorish American. Regardless of the process that he did to be Moorish American, we know he's Moorish American. And Temple number 13 in Baltimore are not going to deny it if you go ask them. They're not going to deny it. They're going to say, no, that's not true. But you have to ask yourself. So if he's a Moor, then what? Why don't our people want to be Moors? Because like we said, we give honest to Farrakhan. We already know he's nationalized and all that. We don't respect him for his path that he took. But he's a Moorish American. Just like all the other people who were the heads of Nation of Islam. They're all Moors. And they know that they're Moors. What are you doing? You thought there's going to be some Farrakhan bashing or something? No, we already know he knows. He's a Mason and all that. He knows what's up. How come you don't know what's up? If he knows. You're going to use him as a reference that he brought up Noble Drew Ali. Well, hey. He knows he's a Moor. How come you don't know? All you people with X over there talking about you're somebody. You're somebody 15X. You're really 15X. And you're not questioning these people about where's my holy name? No questions. You don't want to know where your holy name is. But all the heads of the thing have holy name and you're X. 36X. But then you really were a medium, so it's like it's messed up. Then just stop playing around. Stop playing around. People are dying out here. People are playing around.
Now let's look at Noble Drew Ali. Here's a man that died a young man. Noble Drew Ali. He lived from
us in the way he tried to bring it in.
What do you mean the way he tried to bring? What do you mean the way he tried to bring something? What do you mean tried? What does that mean? What do you mean? Yeah, he's the first one to ever try something that we're doing. No, if he's the first one, that means he did it. Wouldn't that mean that he did whatever it is that you're claiming you're giving him honors for? You're not going to give him honors if they didn't win the 6 championships. You're not going to care if they didn't. Wouldn't have been nothing. If Jordan lost all the championships, he wouldn't care. He made the finals every year. He didn't try anything. He did. Did what? Anything that you said that you want as a human being or a black guy or whatever like that. Nobody really did everything so you could have whatever it is that you want. Why do you think these people are filthy rich and you're broke? Because they know that they're Moors. You don't. And then they hog all the wealth instead of sharing it with the other people who know that they're Moors.
Peace. I'm Rami Salaam. I thank you for...
Hold on. How come he stopped it there? Oh, he didn't play the rest for you? Okay, let's just see what else this guy knows. Before he starts talking, let's see what this guy knows about Nation of Islam and his perspective of them before we see where he's going, because we already know something's up. We already know something's up because we know that certain people were the man. We know certain people got to look at the seat and say, "Wow, that's what the seat looks like. That's what the seat looks like." Like you think myself, me, being who I am, the being that I am. You think I'm going to write a book with some clown? Do you think I'm going to write a book with some traitor? Do you know how deep down I was for Rami Salaam El? Like, you know, he got Nobel Juali Day Award from us and all that. We've been doing Nobel Juali Day for 11 years. Every year, we give out Nobel Juali Day Awards. One year, Rami Salaam El got that. Right? That's how we were riding with him. That's how we were riding with him. Like that. And then stuff started getting crazy. So before stuff got crazy, this was his perspective of Nation of Islam. And don't tell me any BS about, oh, well, people grow and all that stuff. No. Once you know these people come from Moorish Science Temple of America, if they choose to say otherwise and do otherwise, when their foundation is Moorish Science Temple of America, that's treason. We've been known that.
Captain's log, Stardate 14. We're being pulled towards a hostile planet. I'm hoping that Scotty will be able to activate the backup control systems. God, feels so full.
Captain, I'm picking up some strange signals. Something about intergalactic oppressors, sir.
Captain, intruders are approaching the bridge, sir. Who are you?
I am the Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Spock, who is he? A former Calypso singer, Captain, who later became leader of a 20th century African-American religious sect known as the Nation of Islam.
You'd like to buy some incense?
Being kind, my brother? No, thank you. What do you want?
I've come to warn your crew.
Warn your crew?
Of their enslavement.
Enslavement?
Aboard this vessel.
That's Farrakhan. These people are perfectly free to do anything they want.
Now let's look at Noble Drew Ali. Here's a man that died a young man. Noble Drew Ali. Lived from 1886 to 1929. I salute my brother. He's the first man to bring Islam to us in the way he tried to bring it in. I thank him. Thank Allah for him. Is the name given to the Muslims from North Africa that invaded the Iberian Peninsula and brought Islam to Spain and Portugal and southern France. So he's calling us Moors, and he dressed his followers in the fez of the Muslim people of the East. Look at what he said. The Moors were enslaved by reducing their mentality to that of Negroes, blacks, and colored people. As a man thinketh, so is he. Moors who sleep too much. Wake up and see the 7 bridges crossing in the sky. Can you see that you are a people? Not an organization. We are a people. We are a nation. into a circle of light. And this is to teach us a lesson.
Just wanted to let you know that he knew what's up. How come he didn't play that? Well, let's hear what we got from Clif Soulo L right now. And we're gonna do a compare and contrast to see if this is really Robbie Salaam L, or did the alter ego Clif Soulo take over?
For watching, thank you for joining. For new Moors that are watching this right now, people that are just coming into this Moorish information, please listen closely. Don't believe what I say. I encourage you to look up everything that you see, everything that you hear, and most importantly, judge everything based off of what Noble Drew Ali said. Why? Because he is a prophet. I'm not claiming to be a prophet. I'm not the leader or the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Noble Drew Ali. We're supposed to be following his lead, and we gotta stick to that principle. And also understand as we go through this is about principle. For Moors that have been aware about this information, I encourage you to listen to what I'm saying. Don't believe what I'm saying. Hold me accountable. If I said something that was incorrect, please inform me. Let me know where I was mistaken, if I made an error in any place. And for people that aren't Moors and are just watching from the sidelines, please just listen and pay attention with an open mind and understand that there are some Moorish Americans that are doing our best to set the right example. And much respect to the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Louis Minister Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, to all the brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam. What I appreciate about the Nation of Islam is they set an example for themselves in terms of conduct, how they present themselves, how they speak. That's a member of the Nation of Islam when you see him move, when you see him talking.
But why? Because that comes from Moorish Science Temple. And Moorish Science Temple of America sold out, and whoever was left took whatever they had from Moorish Science Temple and started their own organization, and not give Noble Drew Ali's honors that it was his stuff that they stole. What do you mean honors? What do you think El Hajj found out and he left? And then he went and proclaimed nationality, and now he's coming back to save the nation, which is what these people should have did before him. And then they assassinate him because he's going to the UN? Why are you going to assassinate him because he's going to the UN? Let's think about it. How come they haven't gone to the UN since him on behalf of the people? If they're going to claim him like he's theirs and they could do whatever they want with him and all that stuff, then okay. If you're claiming him, then how come they're not taking this argument of our people getting this mistreatment to the UN? That's what El Hajj was doing before he got murdered. He already made the connects with all the African nations who are going to back his position. And they said no. They said they rather do their own thing. They're trying to do their own thing. Took Noble Drew Ali stuff and they're doing their own thing. We're talking about Nation of Islam right now. Everything that they're doing they got from Moorish Science Temple. And they capitalized on the fact that Moorish Science Temple of America turned into some religious thing. And they took aspects of the UNIA, aspects of the Moorish Science Temple, which were unified at that time, and then they started their own thing because they want to be the man. And then brainwash people just like some type of cult, whatever like that. Brainwash them into being subjects now to them instead of to their nation. But they're only subject to them because they think, because they say nation, that means they're a nation, when that's a fiction. So we know that he's playing games with all this placation that he's doing right now. It's the same placation that they're doing, putting Noble Drew Ali's face on a banner. Pretending like they're down with something. You're not down with anything NOI is doing like that. Or you'd be giving them finance and supporting whatever they're doing. Not just clapping with them from your couch. You'd be working with them. Okay, that's any NOI guy. Hey, NOI guy. You ever heard of Clif Soulo? Clif Soulo? Oh yeah, we know him or whatever like that. Okay, so you can talk. Other than that, don't bring them up. Because we know that they committed treason. They know they committed treason. Like we said, it's in the Godfather of Harlem playing right now. Still don't see. You're still going to be praising them as the whatever of our people. All right, then do your thing. Do your thing. But that's high treason. Do your thing. But just know that what you're doing is treason.
Sincerely appreciate that and inspire, to for Moorish Americans to get to that place so that we hold ourselves based on principles and move according to principle. Okay. Why? I know it's a question. Why am I doing what? Matter of fact, let me not even say it. Let's roll.
Why you care so much? Why does Clif Soulo care so much about this artificial entity that Noble Drew Ali created?
Just to clarify, he's calling me Clif Soulo because that's my artist name when I create hip hop. But for the record, I hope you can see that clip.
Right. So for the record, that's some stuff he made at his house. For the record. And even though you have the power to make it at your house, right? Even though you have the power to make it at your house, you making something at your house and you having something that somebody's been doing before you is two different things. Because he's doing the same thing that he's saying we shouldn't be getting mad at what the NY is doing. He's doing the same thing that they're doing. Parading around as this is something that has to do with Noble Drew Ali when it's not. Because Drew Ali said your nationality card is going to change in your pocket. There's no way you have a nationality card right now without picture and all that on it. And we already know that you were somebody who had a Lodial nationality card and you didn't even have a fez on in the picture. Show us that nationality card. Show us that one. Show us the nationality card, the Lodial one that you have. Right? Show us the Lodial nationality card. That's what we want to see. Show us the Lodial. Let's see the Lodial. Right? Let's see the Lodial. We want to see the Lodial, not just this side. Not just this side. Right? Now everybody knows this side. This is the side that we use so we could give honors to Noble Drew Ali because of he's the foundation. Of course that's going to be on the nationality card. Right? Of course. This is a hard card. You could look at that and know. These people play like they're showing you something. They're not showing you anything. They're placating. That's what it's called, placate. We'll look it up. Because nothing is engaging anymore. If majority of the people have shades on, you probably make no eye contact every day. And that's an interaction. Right? The facial expression interaction is already gone. That's already in the window. People are zombies already. They don't even know it. That there's no expression now. Everything is just this monotone hum. Everybody's walking to this hum. Like, what is going on out here? Why is everybody walking to the hum? You don't get caught up in dissimulation. This is about self-realization. This is about tapping into your higher existence. Not some earth plane stuff. When we say that we're Moors, we're tapped into a higher frequency when we say that we're Moors. We're not the Negro black organization mindset. That's not our frequency. And for people to be a traitor, for people to commit treason and then still coming around as if they didn't just commit treason, shows where the people are at. Right? Where are you at? Don't get caught up and think this is some back and forth thing or whatever like that. No, this is recess. Like we put in our work. This is recess. Now recess, anything goes. Don't ever get it messed up that this is some type of passive online social media thing. That's not what this is. Like we deal with real life off of this. People pay $7,000 for a package. They're not calling some people out there. They're calling Canaanland Moors. Because they tried to deal with everybody else and everybody's a sellout. Why is that? Because of stuff like this. People who were on a side that was for the nation and then went to the other side. Why? I don't know how you can go to the other side. Okay, let's just see. Hold on. Let's just see.
When you see someone saying Moors teach sovereign citizens, Moors teach sovereignty, you say that person's lying. That person's full of, you know what I'm saying? Because they are. More.
So, if that's the case, then how come, let me just read this thing right here. I am hhtemple@gmail.com. According to how the FBI defines domestic terrorists and sovereign citizens, Jamal's actions classify as such, not Noble Drew Ali's teachings or actions, but what Jamal Abdullah Bey has been teaching and doing. They are not the same. I was wondering and hoping that you could really consider reviewing the things Jamal has said and done with an objective eye, a lawful eye, and then making a video to clarify that you and Moorish Americans do not support any type of sovereign citizen or domestic terrorist actions. Okay, so if he just said, and then this email saying a totally different thing, absolutely contrary to what was said before, you know that something's going on. I don't know what's going on, but something's definitely going on. Because you're not going 180 like that if something's not going on. There's no way. Because if he's going to call a Moor a sovereign citizen, then that means he's going directly against everything that he just said. Right?
It's just that simple. But if you can't find it, here's what I ask. When you see someone saying Moors teach sovereign citizens, Moors teach sovereignty, you say that person's lying. That person's full of, you know what I'm saying?
Right, now. This is Rami Salaam L, who I wrote the book with. Right, this right here, this is Rami Salaam L. This is the Moors who were in that jurisdiction of Cali or whatever. There wasn't no, he was running from people. There was no he's running from people. They would build. Right? This is who 77 Amazing Facts was written with. Him. Like I said, we don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But if these people are going to be doing chemtrails and stuff like that, then I'm looking at everything funny. If they can have plastic cabbage, then stuff is pretty crazy. Everything is getting looked at funny. Especially so-called sentient beings who we might start realizing these people aren't sentient. Right? This is a Moor. Fez with a tassel and all that stuff. This is a Moor right here. Right? This, I don't know what this is. Because this is not who 77 Amazing Facts was written with. This is not him.
So, if they're doing that to people over there, what do you think they're going to do to domestic terrorists? You think it's going to be all peaches and rainbows and flowers and daisies? No. No, it's not. And the people that are trying to associate Moors and Moorish Americans to sovereign citizens are thereby trying to associate us and classify us as domestic terrorists, so that the U.S. government and those three-letter agencies can bring war on us.
Hold on a second. So, according to the FBI, domestic terrorist, sovereign citizen, whatever, he's saying another Moor's actions are like a sovereign citizen. That means you just call that Moor a sovereign citizen. then if he's calling the Moor a sovereign citizen, wouldn't that mean he's contradicting himself? And the only way you can have such blatant contradiction is if either it's a clone now or somebody sold out. It's either a Terminator or somebody sold out. That's the only options. Which one we going with? It's either he's a Terminator, because the Moor with the fez and the tassel is not the one in the video that you're watching right now. I want you to let that sink in your head. Those aren't the same. It's not the same.
Clearly, Rami Abdullah Salaam L issued June 25th, 2014. So, I'm Rami Salaam L. But to answer the question, why does Rami care so much? Why is he making these videos? Why is he talking about what Cujo is doing? Why does he care so much about what Cujo is saying and doing? Let me explain. This is what Noble Drew Ali said. Prophet warns all Muslims to be read in every meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. We're going to get to that later. Says a little further down. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. And then a little further down it says, the prophet is therefore sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. Noble Drew Ali sent out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans. I'm a Moorish American. What does it say for us to do? To do their part, I have to do my part in what? Protecting the prophet and the temple. So this is why I care. And on a personal note, something that I stress to my son a lot and my daughter is to say what you mean and mean what you say. To stand on principles. You know, and I often talk about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and how we gotta love. This is correct. We do have to love, but also we have to be truthful. We have to be true. I can't be hypocritical. I can't be quiet just because of somebody I know. As a great leader once said, let me read this quote for you. I'm for truth no matter who tells it. I'm for justice no matter who it is for or against. I'm a human being first and foremost, and as such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X. So I care on a principle level as a man because this is what I stand on principle-wise. I have to be honest. I have to be just.
So, how are you mad for me being honest and just? How are you mad? You're not even a Grand Sheikh. You don't even know what I go through as a Grand Sheikh. What do you know about what a Grand Sheikh is? Now, what do you really know about a Grand Sheikh? Other than some booklet that says what the duties are. Or some constitution that says, like, what does that mean? If you're not in those shoes, it means absolutely nothing. That's why we say that this is the one that everybody was down with. This is the one, the tassel one. Whatever it is happened, but this one right here is the Rami that we were riding with. I don't know who this is. And I don't know what's going on. Just like I don't know what's going on. I know that there's many different places that we can go to get some information. Right? Many different websites you can go to get some information. You are repping for a website, RV Bay Publications, for example. They have books talking about the Moral Science Temple of America is a fraud and all that stuff, and these people sold out. You can get books by Taj and Raz talking about that. So how come you're not talking crazy about RV Bay Publications? Like, we're on RV Bay Publications website. How come they haven't said, oh, these guys are a fraud, claiming that they're Moral Science Temple of America and lying to the people and have me on their website? Why would it be up there? Why would it be up there still? If this isn't where it was at. And we don't know what's going on. All we know is that this is not the same one. That's all we know. Where's your tassel at? So we want to know. Where's the flag at?
And as a Moorish American, I have to protect the temple and the prophet. And what Cujo Awa El is doing is damaging, is injurious to our temple, to our prophet, to our movement, to our nation. So this is why I care so much. And let me read one more thing, just to follow up what Noble Ali said. Again, not just me, not what I feel about it. A warning from the prophet. It says, there's no favorite in any of the temples, for the law is laid down, and everyone who claims a part of the work must be governed accordingly. There's but one temple in this nation, and there's but one prophet of the temples. There's one temple in this nation. Understand? Let's continue.
We have a book together. So there's absolutely no way he should be talking against anything that I'm saying.
This for Moors especially. We cannot have that mentality. We cannot think, oh, well, just because it's a Moor, I'm going to let it ride, and whatever they say, I'm riding with them because they Moors. Nah. What's right?
Hold on a second. Let me just see something.
Isn't getting the report done by Friday. You know, this is for the upliftment of fallen humanity. This ain't something we're supposed to be playing around with. So this message is for any person, any Moor that's attacking RV Bay Publications, Taj Street Bay, any of the active Moors that are producing literature for the people and getting the information out to the people and teaching civics and law to the people. Because Drew Ali said that we are supposed to, the organization is to make us better citizens, that we are supposed to enforce the Constitution. In order to do that, we need to study and know the law. We need to study and know civics. So
that's how That's how our Moorish Science Temple of America was able to get on the RV Bay Publications website, because we were a Moorish Science Temple of America that studied from them and applied the civics. So the game is having you look at it as if it's some one-on-one thing. This is not a one-on-one thing. We've been talking like this. And again, we are Moorish Science Temple of America. We are Moorish Divine and National Movement. We have an address that you could send mail to in the name of that, and we'll get the mail. We have bills in the name of that. So don't think that we're dissing Moorish Science Temple of America. We're it. Not dissing Noble Drew Ali. We rep Noble Drew Ali harder than any of these temples out here. What are they doing as far as Moorish Science Temple? Other than the little Friday Holy Day meeting or whatever that they're doing, what else are they doing? Like what else? How come Moors are coming from all over the country to come check our temple? Why? Because they went to these other temples and it was BS. Whether it's misogynistic BS, whether it's some patriarchal whatever BS. The sister came from a temple, said, you know, there's no interaction in any of the other temples. It's like COVID before COVID. There's no transfer of the energy so we can get some work done. Right? We are Moorish Science Temple of America. We have a sign on a building that says that. So don't look at it like we're dissing something. We're doing what the others before us failed and didn't do, is our position. If you say you rep for Noble Drew Ali, then you should be doing something which reflects what he presented. Because obviously we can't do everything, because stuff is a mess. Because everybody sold you out, including some of your own good ones who you thought were good ones. Nope, even they sold you out. Which is why we told you go study. But nah, you wanted to play follow him now. Okay, well now what? Now look at you. Playing follower. Right? Don't play follower. You better know. You better know. Because if you don't know, you're going to slip like certain people. And then can't get out the hole. And then you're stuck.
Right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Just because I wrote a book with Cujo doesn't mean I have to agree or co-sign and just go along with any and everything he says. That's
Hold on a second.
Brother Cujo Al, and he has plenty of books. Check it all out at khalifamedia.com. But when I first learned that we're supposed to be producing literature, it's like, well, let me get started. You know, I had a newspaper, an online little newsletter available, and printed out some newspapers.
So we want to know what happened to this? What happened to this guy? What happened to this guy? Where's this guy at? Right? Where's this guy at? Who was repping for Sons of Allah, Cujo L, and all of that? What are you talking about? We know something's off. We're not dumb. You play dumb all you want, but we're not dumb. Right? We're not dumb. Exactly. What happened? What happened? This is what we're looking for. Talking about the same thing we're talking about. Drew Ali and Garvey being the foundation. He didn't choose to talk about this. He's going to bring up some Farrakhan telling you about Noble Drew Ali is the forerunner of Elijah Muhammad, honors to Elijah Muhammad. What are you talking about? This is how you used to be talking. What happened to you? You stopped talking like this. And was waiting for the Morning Star too, every month. Was waiting for it. What happened? Right? Where you would have been now if you just stuck on the program, right? Again, repping. Not repping no Supreme Grand Council. Where's Supreme Grand Council on this? Matter of fact, you had your own Morris Society. What you need a goddamn Supreme Grand Council for? You got your own society. You got your own Moorish hip hop temple, and then you talk about Supreme Grand Council? You think? So you used to be repping, right? Putting out information for people to learn. Not talking any BS about Cujo or whatever. Talking crazy about me for. We have a book together. What are you talking about? Right? What happened? What happened? Inquiring minds want to know. That Great Seal and all that right there. Right? What did you say? Moorish Divine National Movement, right? You didn't say no Supreme Grand Council or any of that stuff. Where's Supreme Grand Council at? You can call your stuff Supreme Grand Council Temple. And then you did the 2 and the 3 because of the 5 principles. Come on, man. Stop playing. Stop playing dumb. We know something's up. Either just shut down your stuff and just be done with everything because you're not built for this, or you know what I mean. Stop bringing up Canaanland Moors and whatever like that, and do like your boy. Do like your boy. Show your boy, because it's crazy. Crazy. As if Farrakhan wasn't bad enough.
Temple of America and Noble Drew Ali saying that he created it and founded it as a trap, that's a lie. He's also now lying about the Supreme Grand Council, saying it's only to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America and it has nothing to do with the Moorish nation. That is also a lie. But, I don't want you to believe me.
So, when you look at the United States government, you got the legislative, the executive, and the judicial branch. The legislative is the Congress, the Senate, the House of Representatives, right? The executive is...
So you're going to use Taharka Bay as a reference point, but then as this guy,
including Taharka Bay. And the thing about it is, the other people watching, some of you may be watching, you may not realize this, but Taharka Bay knows what he's doing is wrong. You know what you're doing is wrong. And I know what you're doing. And certain people that...
So, if a guy's doing wrong, why using him as a reference point to prove your point about something? How you use Pigpen Bay as a reference point? This is how you know that something went wrong, right? Something went wrong. He might be a clone. It might be, you know what I mean, took the pill, got the injection, something went down. I don't know if there's any turning back or whatever. You might just have to drop off the face of the earth right now and just say, you know what? This virtual online stuff isn't really where it's at for me. Let me just shut my stuff down and go live my life. Because this is the guy who we know.
That have studied this information, the people that are aware of the information that, you know, the Moorish Science, Temple of America, Noble Drew Ali, all of that. If you've really studied, then you know that Taj Tariq Bey is right and exact and on point with what he's saying. You know, but what Taharka Bey, what you're doing, what this brother is doing, is taking.
Taj never talked about Supreme Grand Council. If Taj not talking about Supreme Grand Council, how come you're not talking crazy about him? Just keep in mind, you know what I mean? This is 2017. And he's saying 2015 he started talking about Supreme Grand Council. So how come he's not pressuring Taj about some Supreme Grand Council? Doing like everybody else, riding Taj coattails for views.
Taking advantage of people's ignorance and taking advantage over the fact that people don't know and haven't studied yet. And he uses a lot of emotion and he uses a lot of manipulation in the way he communicates and conveys points in order to trick you into believing what he's saying, rather than learning for yourself to see who is accurate and who is inaccurate, who is correct and who is incorrect. And that's what I find very disgusting in people, is when people use their intelligence and use information and other people's lack of information and ignorance, when they use that against people and manipulate people. That really...
That's the same thing he did with Jamal. I tell you, this is not the same guy. Something happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But I know something happened. And that 180 was either threat, duress, and coercion or something like that, or somebody took the check, clone. Because it doesn't make sense whatsoever. It's only because the more Islam to Brother Yusuf who brought it up. Hey, did he listen to this old stuff when he's talking like a real Moor? Like, no. Never really thought to go back and check anything because... And it's two different entities or some shit. Yeah, straight body snatcher is going on. Don't worry about organs. These people taking your body. Take your body and use you against yourself. Because it does make sense. No way you're using Taharka Bey as a reference. No way. To prove your point. No way. It's impossible. Oh, and then since he did this one too, let me show you how crazy it is. Since he did this one too, let me show you this. Because they're also bringing up that because I said we're renegades or whatever like that, that means we just want to do our own thing. Right? Do our own thing relative to Moorish Science Temple. Because like we've said on numerous occasions, in 2008, the grand body that you see today, calling themselves Moorish Science Temple of America Grand Body or whatever like that, all the adepts left that because of corruption in it. Same thing like what happened with Noble Drew Ali. And then some people ended up going back because that's really the foundation, you know what I mean? And we just hold this thing together. Right? But in 2008, everybody knew that that stuff was a fraud because of what was found out. From trusts being under different names to even to the point of people's sexuality coming into question. And you're talking about adepts. You're not talking about the common people, some whisper in the ear at the temple, they heard something. You're talking in the adept chamber. Now, it doesn't discredit anything. It lets you know how far people went to sell this out. And now that we're up to our neck in the doo-doo or whatever, they're talking about they're the supreme whatever. So they're going to make some decisions with the... What are you talking about? You're up to your neck in doo-doo with us. How do we even get into the pool? How we get in here? You're the head of the thing. Yes. Okay, so you're the head of the thing. How did we get that we're neck deep in doo-doo and we're talking about build a nation? Like, I just want to answer that question. You must have some reports in this doo-doo to show me that, you know, you've been doing your job. There's no other reason that we're going to be in the doo-doo unless you didn't do your job. People didn't do their job. And because we're saying, well, based on the teachings that we got, and based on the example that these people are expressing, it doesn't seem like they're doing what they're supposed to do. So we're going to take what Noble Drew Ali brought and do to the best of our ability, with the help of other Moors around us or whatever, what we think this should be. And that was 2008 and we're still here. While hundreds of people fell off. Hundreds of people, you look them up, you can't even find a page for them anymore on YouTube or whatever. So we're for Moorish Science Temple of America. We're for Moorish Divine and National Movement and Noble Drew Ali. But they're not going to tell you the whole. They're just going to tell you the half. So while they call us renegade, keep in mind, right? Keep in mind, right? And why we say that we're renegades. Renegades, 1580s, apostate, probably with change of a suffix from Spanish renegado, originally Christian turned Muslim, from medieval Latin renegatus, noun use of past participle renegare, deny, see renege, general sense of turncoat from 1660s. The form renegade directly from medieval Latin is attested to English from late 1400s as an adjective from 1705. Alright, so renege. Renege is the root word. 1540s. Deny, renounce, abandon. From medieval Latin renegare. From Latin re. Here probably an intensive prefix. Negar, refuse, meaning change one's mind. Is from 1784. So nothing's wrong with being a renegade. Matter of fact, you're supposed to be a renegade. Because only the fool doubteth not. Noble Drew Ali even told you use your 5 senses. And why should you use your 5 senses? Because your perspective is your own. And once that perspective is in harmony with the 5 principles, then you have a certain balance. And that message that you put out there is going to be received. They haven't been putting out the message. There was no temple here unless it was us doing it. We are the ones, the people who had Supreme Grand Council and Moorish Science Temple of America and Grand Major Temple and Grand Body and Third Heaven Adept Chamber and all that. Those people had this stuff for 80 years and they couldn't even get a place out here for us to say that we're Moors. And then after we do it, now everybody's talking about trying to tell us something. You ain't telling us nothing for 80 years. When we were Negro, black, colored. You didn't tell us that we're Moors. You thought we were Africans and all this. We give honors to all the Moors worldwide who know about their nationality and birthrights and know the truth about it. That this is not some club that you're going to join. This is making the people better citizens. So better citizens means you're part of a nation. So act like it. And if you're not going to act like it, no problem. Just take off your turban and fez. Don't just take the tassel off only. Take the whole fez off and go back to the state where the Prophet found you. And don't worry about this. This does not concern you at this point. This doesn't concern you. Because you dropped too many balls, you go sit in the dugout. Because you dropped 5 balls. Like, why are you out here? Well, you know, I'm going to get the 6th one. No. None of that. Just get him out of here, like Yusuf says. Just get him out of here. Honors to all the Moors. Don't forget, this is nationality and birthrights. This is not a club. And once you're not violating the principles, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, you'll be alright. Don't let these people play some tiptoe the line BS with you. Take chances. Right? Do what you haven't seen or heard. We're just going to get the word out to our people so that they know what's up, so they can change their mindset. Then you go right ahead and do what it is. If you're doing it for righteousness, do it. Don't even hesitate if you're doing it for righteousness. If you can show yourself approved and you're qualified to have a garden, then sell food to the whole community. Like, what, you know what I mean? Why not? Why not? That's called a supermarket when you talk to other nations. But you're not called a supermarket. You're saying, I'm going to get it from the brother or whatever. No, that's the supermarket. But, you know, because our minds are not in the right place, we look at things wrong. And everything looks like failure when it's really, you know, we're the most industrious people on the planet. You can't figure this stuff out yet. And then when we're trying to tug you like, yo, you have people over here telling you, nah, it ain't like that. That's not how it's supposed to go, because Noble Drew Ali said, wear the colors of the rainbow. And, you know, Jay-Z blue is not in the color of the rainbow, so you can't wear that as a turban. Like, what are you talking about? Let's get real. This is not a club. You just might want to let your hair breathe or something like that on that day, so you don't wear your turban. Doesn't mean you're not a Moor. You're not a Moor because you don't have a tassel on your fez, so you're not a Moor. The point is that this is a sojourn. This is not some you're joining up thing. Even if you're joining, you're on a path. There's something you're on the path for. You better know, because if you don't know, vultures are out here and they will pluck at you. Honors to all the mothers worldwide. Honors to all the Moors everywhere you're at. Give thanks for all the solar return blessings and greetings and all that. It was definitely a good charge up yesterday. Honors to all. Honors to the Prophet Noble Juali. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Islam.